Hello friends, welcome to our RV YouTube channel. In today's session 23 of electric drives and control, we are going to discuss about type D chopper fed separately excited DC motor drive, in which we are going to discuss about two quadrants of operation such as forward motoring and reverse regenerative braking control. So now let us discuss about the contents which we are going to discuss in this session. So first let me have introduction, and after that we will discuss about the circuit diagram. Then we will discuss about the operation and speed control of type D chopper fed DC motor drive with the help of the waveforms, and we will discuss about the quadrants of operation, and after that we will discuss about the mathematical analysis in which we use to derive average output voltage of the chopper, armature voltage of the motor, and at last we will derive the speed torque relationship. And through this speed torque relationship we will draw the speed torque characteristics of the DC motor drive when it is fed by this particular type D chopper. So first let us discuss about the introduction. So here basically our agenda is to control the speed of the DC motor. So the speed of the DC motor can be controlled by means of using an armature voltage control technique. So in this armature voltage control technique, when we can achieve the change in the armature voltage of the motor, we can achieve the change in the speed of the motor. That means speed of the motor can be controlled by means of controlling the armature voltage of the motor. So this technique we are going to achieve through a type D chopper. So how it can be achieved through a type D chopper? Let us see now. So here speed control using type D chopper. So first let me introduce some basic informations about type D chopper, such as type D chopper offers two quadrants such as first quadrant and fourth quadrants of operation. So there are first quadrant is of forward motoring and fourth quadrant is of reverse regenerative braking. And also this type D chopper is also known as type B 2 quadrant chopper. So now as we discussed earlier, our main aim is to control the speed of the DC motor. So how we can control it by means of using a type D chopper? See here, when we are able to change the duty ratio del of the chopper, we will be able to achieve the change in the output voltage of the chopper VA. So when we are able to achieve the output voltage VA change, that means when we are able to achieve the change in the output voltage of the chopper, we will be able to achieve the change in the armature voltage of the motor VA. Output voltage of the chopper is also represented by VA, and the armature voltage of the motor is also represented by VA. So here why we are represented both representations by VA means output voltage of the chopper is fed to the armature terminals of the motor. So the representations of both voltages are same, which are represented by VA. So here as we discussed, when we are able to achieve the change in the armature voltage of the motor, then we will be able to achieve the change in speed of the motor. So means when there is a change in the duty ratio of the chopper, we can change the speed of the motor. So this is how a speed of the DC motor is controlled by means of using a type D chopper. Let's discuss about the circuit diagram. Here it is a chopper. A chopper converts fixed DC input voltage to the variable output DC voltage. So here for this circuit, the fixed DC input voltage Vs is given to the chopper. Here switch S1, S2, diodes D1 and D2 forms the type D chopper. Here switch S1 and S2 may be a MOSFET or IGBT or a mass controlled thyristor. Here RA represents the armature resistance of the motor, and LA represents the armature inductance of the motor, and A and AA are the armature terminals of the motor. Here VA is the armature voltage across this armature terminals of the motor, and here E represents the back EMF of the DC motor. So now let us discuss about the operation of this circuit diagram through this equivalent circuits, which are marked as 1, 2 and 3, which are of different modes of operation, and these are the waveforms which are here. So now first let us discuss about the operation. So here first initially the switches S1 and S2 are given the gate pulse. See, at t is equal to 0 milliseconds, okay, at t is equal to 0 milliseconds, the switches S1 and S2 are given the gate pulse. So what will be the current flow? See here the current flows, the armature current IA starts from positive terminal of the supply voltage and flows through the switch S1 and to the motor, and flows through the S2 switch and flows or ends at the negative terminal of the supply voltage. So this is the current flow. So this current flow I have drawn in equivalent circuit 1. So the armature current IA starts from the positive terminal of the supply voltage and flows through the switch S1 and enters into the motor and enters into the switch S2 inside the negative terminal of the supply voltage. So if we apply KVL to this loop, we will get VA is equal to VS. That means armature output voltage is equal to the supply voltage. That means the supply DC input voltage. So here, now let us draw this output voltage waveform. See here, this is our DC input voltage. Okay, this is our DC input voltage. See here, this is our DC input voltage. So which I have drawn here. Vs is DC input voltage. So which is drawn in our purple color. This is our DC input voltage with a magnitude of Vs. So now let us draw this output voltage. Okay, Va is equal to Vs. So here, this is our Va is equal to Vs when both the switches S1 and S2 are conducting. So during this time, what happens to the current? Now let us discuss about the current flow. So here what happens is the current is flowing from source to the load. That means from supply voltage or from supply to the motor. So since the current is flowing from supply to the armature terminals of the motor, the armature current increases. So here the minimum level of the current is assumed to be IA1 and the maximum level of the current is assumed to be IA2. So here as per our discussion, the current increases, right? So the current is assumed to be increases from the minimum level of the current IA1 to the maximum level of the current IA2. So when it reaches the maximum level of the current IA2, any one of the switch will be opened. So here switch S2 is opened, therefore the diode D2 comes into the forward bias mode. So what happens to the current flow now? See here, now the current from the motor flows through the diode D2 and enters into the switch S1 and again through the motor. So this is I have drawn in the equivalent circuit 2. So here the current from the motor, the armature current from the motor will flow through the diode D2 and to the switch S1 and again to the motor. So if you observe this circuit is a short circuit. So under short circuit condition, the output voltage will be equal to 0. Therefore, here our VA is equal to 0. Okay, so here our VA is equal to 0. Okay, S1 D2. The switch S1 and D2 are conducting. When S1 D2 are conducting, the output voltage VA is equal to 0. So at this condition, what happens to the current? So here in our previous circuit, what was happened is the current was increasing, right? So the increased current is stored in this armature inductance as a magnetic field energy. So now this stored energy or magnetic field energy will flow through the diode D2 and switch S1. That means here the current is freewheeling. Okay, the current is freewheeling through the diode D2 and the switch S1. So when the current freewheels, the current gets reduces. Therefore, the current is reducing when the switch S1 and the diode D2 are conducting. See here, the current is reducing from the maximum level of current IA2 to the minimum level of the current IA1. So when it reaches the minimum level of the current IA1, again the switch S2 is given the gate pulse. So now what happens? See here again the current starts, the armature current starts flowing from plus Vs to switch S1 to the motor, switch S2 and to the minus Vs. So, I have drawn that in the equivalent circuit 1. So the current starts from the positive terminal of the supply voltage, this armature current. Okay, this armature current starts from the positive terminal of the supply voltage, which enters into the switch S1 and to the motor and to the switch S2 and which ends at the negative terminal of the supply voltage. So if we apply KVL to this loop, we will get VA is equal to Vs. That means at this condition, the output voltage or the armature voltage is equal to the supply input voltage Vs. So that is drawn here. So from this period to this period, from the time period T to the time period T on, the switch S1 and S2 are conducting, our output voltage is equal to Vs, so which is drawn here. Okay, so now what happens to the current at this condition? Let us discuss. So here, as we already discussed, the current is supplied from the supply side to the motor. Therefore, what happens is the current in the motor will increase and the energy will be stored in the armature inductance in the form of magnetic field energy. So here the current is, that means when S1 and S2 are conducting from the time period T to T on, the current is increasing from minimum current IA1 to the maximum current called IA2. When the current reaches the maximum value of IA2, now the switch S1 is opened. That means now switch S1 is in turn off position and the diode D1 forward biases. So now therefore the switch S2 and the diode D1 are conducting. So now what happens to the current flow? Now let us discuss. So here the current flows through from the motor to the switch S2 and the diode D1 and again to the motor. So this is drawn in the equivalent circuit 3. So here the current from the motor, that means the energy which is stored in the form of magnetic field in the armature inductance, which flows through the switch S2 and the diode D1 and again to the motor. That means in this condition the current is freewheeling. So now here if you observe this circuit is of a short circuit. So under short circuit condition the output voltage is equal to 0. So at this condition, that means when the switch S2 and the diode D1 are conducting, see here the switch S2 and the diode D1 are conducting. So at this condition the output voltage VA is equal to 0. So at this condition what happens to the current? So now let us discuss about the current also. So here if you observe at the circuit, the current, I mean the current which is stored as the magnetic field energy in the armature inductance of the motor is freewheeling through the switch S2 and the diode D1. That means here the current is freewheeling. So when the current freewheels, the current decreases. So here the current is decreasing from the maximum value of IA2 to the minimum level of the IA1. So when the current decreases to the minimum level of IA1, the switch S1 and S2 are turned on again. So from here, I mean at this condition, the switch S1 and S2 are turned on. So from here, the new cycle starts. The cycle repeats. So this is how a type D chopper fed DC drive operates. So now let us discuss about this mathematical analysis of this particular type D chopper fed DC motor drive. So here first let us discuss about the duty ratio. Duty ratio is defined as del, which is the ratio between on time to the total period of one cycle. So here del is equal to on time is represented as T on divided by total time period is 2T. So how it is 2T? So I'll explain you. See here during from 0 to this period S1 and S2 are in turn on condition. So here we are represented as on, and here the switch S2 is half, therefore it is half. So T on plus T off becomes T. And again here the switch S1 and S2 are on, so here it is represented as on. And here switch S1 is off, so here it is represented as off. So on plus off, here it is T. So to complete one full cycle, it is of 2T. Okay, for one cycle or one total time period is 2T. Therefore here total time period is given by 2T. Therefore the duty ratio del is equal to T on by 2T, from which we can get T on by T is equal to 2 del, which is represented as equation 1. Okay, now let us discuss about the current direction. See, if you observe in the equivalent circuit 1, the current is entering through, I mean the armature current is entering through A and leaving through AA. And in the equivalent circuit 2 also, the current is entering through A and leaving through AA. Armature current is entering through A and leaving through AA. And in this equivalent circuit 3 also, the current is entering through A and leaving through AA. That means in all the modes of operation, the current is entering through A and leaving through AA. That means the current is never reversed its direction. Okay. So let us consider that current which enters through A and leaves through AA as positive armature current. That means when type D chopper is used for a DC motor, the armature current is always positive in all the modes of operation. So here armature current is positive which enters through A and leaves through AA. Let's derive the output voltage of the chopper. See, output voltage of the chopper VA is equal to 1 over the time period T integration of T to T on Vs dt. See here, I'm considering this pulse to calculate our output voltage of the chopper. So here this output voltage starts at T and ends at T on. So here this T on is represented in such a way that, see, if you look at this, switch S1 is on here, and at this period also S1 is on, and at this period is also S1 is on. That means the switch S1 is on from 0 milliseconds to this period. So here this T on represents the on time of the switch S1. Switch S1 is on from this 0 milliseconds to this time period. Up to here the switch S1 is on. So here this T on represents the on time of switch S1. So here and at this period from the time period T, see here it is time period T, right? From here to here it is time period T. So from time period T to T on, the output voltage is how much? Vs. Okay. Therefore, VA is equal to 1 over T. The lower limit is T. See here, it starts at T. Therefore, the lower limit is T. And it ends at the T on. Therefore, the upper limit is T on. And the output voltage value, that means VA is how much? Vs. Vs into dt. Okay. Further proceeding the derivation, here VA is equal to, taking Vs as constant, Vs by T integration of T to T on dt. So here integration of dx is given as x. Therefore, integration of dt will become t. Therefore, VA is equal to Vs by T. Integration of dt is T and the limits are T to T on. Therefore, VA is equal to Vs by T. Applying the upper limit T on. When we apply the lower limit, we have to add a minus. Therefore, here minus and the lower limit is T. Therefore, VA is equal to Vs into just multiplying with this T inside, we will get T on by T and minus T on by T. Therefore, VA is equal to Vs into T on by T. T and T gets cancels with each other. Therefore, minus 1. Therefore, VA is equal to Vs into T on by T minus 1, which is represented by equation 2. So, now let us substitute this equation 1 in equation 2. So, what happens is VA is equal to Vs into, instead of T on by T, from equation 1 we get 2 del. Okay. So, 2 del minus 1. Therefore, VA is equal to Vs into 2 del minus 1. So, further proceeding the derivation, here we get VA is equal to, so taking 2 as common term from this to the outside, we get 2 Vs. So, here 2 del by 2 becomes del and here minus 1 by 2. Therefore, VA is equal to 2 Vs del minus 1 by 2 can be written as 0.5. So, this is represented as equation 3. So, now let us proceed from equation 4 on the left hand side. Okay, please look at the left hand side from the equation 4. The equation of a DC motor is given as VA is equal to E plus IaRa. And the back EMF of the motor is given as E is equal to K into omega, which is represented by the equation 5. And the armature current of the motor is given by Ia is equal to T by K, which is represented by the equation 6. So now let us substitute this equation 3 and 5 and 6 in equation 4. So we will get, instead of VA, from equation 3 we will get 2 Vs into del minus 0.5, which is equal to, instead of E, from equation 5 we will get K omega m, plus instead of Ia from equation 6 we get T by K Ra. So from this, our main objective is to find the speed. Therefore, K omega m is equal to 2 Vs into del minus 0.5, and bringing this T by K to the left hand side, it becomes minus T by K Ra. Therefore, omega m, the speed of the motor, omega m is equal to 2 Vs, and bringing this K to the right hand side, it becomes 2 Vs by K into del minus 0.5 minus T, and bringing this K here, and already there is one K here, so K into K becomes K square Ra. Therefore, the speed of the DC motor is given as omega m is equal to 2 Vs into del minus 0.5 divided by K minus T by K square Ra. So, this equation 7 is the relationship between the speed and the torque. So, as we already discussed in the introduction part, if you are able to if you are able to control this duty ratio of the chopper, we will be able to control the speed according to this equation 7. Now, let us discuss about the quadrants of operation. So, the value of the duty ratio ranges between 0 to 1. So, now let us substitute the duty ratio del is equal to 1 in the equation 3. So, what happens is we will get VA is equal to 2 Vs into, instead of del we have to substitute 1 minus 0.5. So, after simplifying this, we will get VA is equal to Vs. And similarly, substitute the duty ratio of the chopper del is equal to 0.75 in equation 3. So, we will get VA is equal to 0.5 Vs. And similarly, let us substitute the duty ratio of the chopper as del is equal to 0.5 in equation 3, we will get VA is equal to 0. And similarly, let us substitute the value of the duty ratio of the chopper del is equal to 0.5 in equation 3, we will get VA is equal to minus 0.5 Vs. And at last, substitute the duty ratio of the chopper del is equal to 0 in equation 3, we will get VA is equal to minus Vs. So, based on this arrival of the results, let us draw the quadrants of operation, or let us discuss the quadrants of operation. So, now coming to the current direction, as we already discussed, the current in all the modes of operation flows or starts from A and ends at AA. That means the current enters through A and leaves through AA, which we have considered as positive armature current. Therefore, the current is always positive. Okay, coming to the voltage point of view, so when del is equal to 1 and when del is equal to 0.75, if you observe at this, our voltages are positive. Okay. So, when del is equal to 1 and del is equal to 0.75, our voltages are positive and our armature current is positive. Therefore, voltage is positive and armature current is positive in the first quadrant called forward motoring. And if you look at this, when our duty ratio del of the chopper is 0.25 and del is equal to 0, our output voltage VA are minus. Can you look at this? When our del is equal to 0.25 and when our del is equal to 0, the output voltages or the armature voltage or the output voltage of the chopper, whatever it is minus. Therefore, now here the voltage is minus and the current is positive. Therefore, it falls into the quadrant called 4. So here voltage is minus and current is positive in the fourth quadrant called reverse regenerative braking. That means a type D chopper is offering first quadrant called forward motoring and the fourth quadrant called reverse regenerative braking. Now let us discuss about the speed torque characteristics of this DC motor when fed by a type D chopper. So based on this equation 7, let us draw. So as we discussed earlier, according to this equation 7, when we are able to control the duty ratio del, we will be able to control the speed. So how it is done? When our duty ratio of the chopper del is equal to 1, our output voltage is equal to Vs. Okay, when del is equal to 1, this is the speed torque characteristics of a DC motor. So when del is equal to 0.75, that means when we are reducing the duty ratio from 1 to 0.75, the output voltage is also reduced. See here the output voltage Va is equal to plus Vs, whereas here Va is equal to 0.5 Vs. That means it is reduced to half the times. Okay, so when the voltage reduces, our speed also reduces, because in general the speed depends on the output voltage or the armature voltage. Okay, the direction and the value of the speed depends on the armature voltage of the motor. So since here the armature voltage is reduced, the speed also reduces. See, from here to here, from here the speed is reduced from here to here. From del is equal to 1, for this del is equal to 1, this is the speed torque characteristics. For del is equal to 0.75, this is the speed torque characteristics, because now Va is reduced for half of the times, therefore speed is reduced. So similarly, when our Va is equal to 0, right, when our del is equal to 0.5, our Va is equal to 0. Okay, when our Va is equal to 0, we will get this speed torque characteristics. Okay, it goes into the negative. Okay, and when del is equal to 0.25, here our Va is equal to minus 0.5 Vs. That means still it is reducing from here to here. For del is equal to 0.25. Okay, and when del is equal to 0, if you observe at this, Va is equal to minus Vs. That means it is reducing from minus 0.5 Vs to minus Vs. So here, from here to the speed is reduced from here. Okay, this is for del is equal to 0. So if you look at this speed torque characteristics, as our duty ratio of the chopper del increases, our speed also increases. So this is how we can control the speed. Okay, now from this speed torque characteristics, we can say that when the duty ratio del ranges between 0.5 to 1, it is operating in the forward motoring called first quadrant. See here, it is operating in the forward motoring called first quadrant. Here duty ratio del is equal to 1 and duty ratio del is equal to 0.75. So this ranges from 0.5 to 1. Okay, and when the duty ratio del ranges between 0 to 0.5, it falls in the fourth quadrant. See here, it is 0.5, 0.25 and 0. So the range of the duty ratio is from 0 to 0.5. So when the duty ratio of the chopper is 0 to 0.5, it falls in the fourth quadrant called reverse regenerative braking. So in this way, we can control the speed of a DC motor by means of using a type D chopper, which offers first and fourth quadrant called forward motoring and fourth quadrant called reverse regenerative braking. Thank you.